What's up,
everybody?
And welcome to the third installment of the Dad Music Podcast. That's right, we've made it to 3.
And right here, right now, we are so excited for you to be joining us. And real quick, let's just introduce ourselves. This guy right here, he's to your right, he's old, he's half the band Scarborough, and he is the dad of the Dad Music Podcast. Let's give him 2 claps.
All right, and this guy to my right, your left, is the tallest action figure that I've ever had, and actually the only one that I've ever had to feed. This is the kid, Quinn.
Yeah!
All right, Quinn, why don't you introduce our third guest of the Dad Music Podcast?
Okay, our third guest is Daniel Hassel.
Woo!
From the band Rosemont. Since it's close to New Year's Eve, let's count down to the first song of this third edition to the podcast made by him, Grooves. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye!
I woke up in my room with all the reasons to believe this would be the death of me. I woke up in my room with all the reasons to believe I will become the enemy, and it's all because the thoughts in my head are God, and it's all because I don't think of myself the way I ought, and it's all because I am who I say I'm not. Close inside the thoughts, and it's all I chose to live with the lies I bought. I woke up in my room I woke up in my room I woke up in my room. I woke up in my room.
thank you for being here, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely, no problem at all.
So just to recap, we met each other at this past Audio Feed Festival 2023. If you've seen our podcast before, you hear us mention Audio Feed quite a bit. That's because it is one of my favorite times of the year. It is kind of like a giant, sweaty musical family reunion.
It's very true. Very factual.
In fact, that's exactly what it felt like meeting you the first time. I was just walking around with Andrew from the band Kept on Hold. Let me pick up that name I just dropped. And we saw you coming in. Apparently, you just got to the festival, so you guys ran up, and I could tell you were close and you were family immediately. And all of a sudden, I was just involved in that conversation.
Yeah.
Right out of the get-go. You were very welcoming.
Bless. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
So we just got done playing your song Rooms. We just wanted to know, like, if anything inspired it or if you were just winging it. Like, just what made you think of that song?
So, funny enough, a lot of my music is never written, like, pre-written in my head or anything like that. It all starts off with a melody or a riff. And then the riff and the melody always speaks to me. And at the time, I know for a fact, I was just going through a really rough time with mental stability. Just understanding where I was, who I was, why I existed, and why things just felt like it was a hard time for me to understand. But yeah, so like that song, came together as an anthem for mental health and depression in a lot of ways. So
okay. So what is the visualization of waking up in your room? What is that what's the meaning behind that? If you don't mind me asking.
No problem. It's just it's a thought that, like, you wake up and you feel things or think about things on a constant basis. For me specifically, I wake up and, like, most of my thoughts are actually at the forefront, just ready to go and ready to be filtered through, if you will. And like I said before, at the time it was a little bit more heavy than what they are now, but that's where that started. It was just like I wake up in my room with all the reasons to believe, and it's just like the thought of just thinking and believing all of the negative connotations of myself, and that's what it started becoming for me on a regular basis. So yeah.
So are most of your things written, I guess, out of personal experience?
Yes.
That's
all
fair?
of my music will forever be that.
Awesome. I know with me, I write about werewolves and shark attacks and things like that. Obviously, I've never been drifting around in an ocean watching my friends get picked off by sharks, but that was the premise to our first single. So
yes.
I tell people that, you know, if there's like a method acting for music, that's probably what I do. So it's interesting to kind of hear that you say it starts with, I wouldn't have thought that it starts with like your guitar parts and things like that for a project like yours.
It's kind of crazy because, like, once again, when I started playing guitar, I think it was like 8 years ago. I didn't have any of the abilities that most of my friends do. Like, if you've been playing guitar for X amount of time, I'm like, oh, that's great. Let me learn from you and like try to steal things that you've actually incorporated in your own playing. I was on drums first at the age of like 4. So like, melody and rhythm came first before any words. And so playing guitar, I've learned a lot through that process of like the gifting of just listening to melodies and allowing the melodies to speak more than what you actually have to say, because those might actually speak more in terms of value, more in terms of like power than what your thoughts actually would conceive, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I mean, usually I'll come up with a riff, and then whatever feeling that riff kind of puts into my head is kind of where that song's going to go.
Yeah. Like, also whenever I like do like any song that like I like do on the piano sometimes, I always do the like the instrumental stuff before I do like any of the lyrics or anything.
Awesome.
Factual.
Anyway, in your own words, how would you describe Rosemont as a band? What would you say is like the style of Rosemont?
I love this question. It's a mix of genres, it's a mix of feelings. The best, like, simplest term I could say, it's just an alternative rock band. But I mix the worlds of post-rock emo into this weird mix of like singer-songwriter gospel stuff. And when I say gospel, I mean primarily vocals and nothing else.
Oh, it's fair. That's fair.
If you've ever heard a gospel drummer, that's a completely different world in itself. Like, you know, so like, but yeah, so like I call it what I call it is I call it Emo Soul, blending emo and gospel soul together. And
Emo Soul, I like it. So basically, at this point it's you. And are there any other permanent members of Rosemont? I know you had several play with you at Audio Feed.
Yeah, those guys are actually in the band.
Okay.
Well, minus one. The other guy that's actually in my band, he has a kid and he couldn't make it, so it's fine. So we have Andrew, we have Jordan on drums, and we have Steve on guitar, who did not play. That was it.
Yeah, I heart Jordan, by the way. My goodness.
He's such a beautiful soul.
That guy, as soon as we ran into each other at Audio Feed, like, there was a connection there. We ended up talking for like 3 hours one night.
Oh, bless.
But he is a great guy, at least from everything that I've known him to be in the last, couple months and during that week.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. Absolutely.
So I've listened to you off and on for the last several months, and there's something familiar about your sound. I know it's the Emo Soul, but I haven't quite placed my finger on it. The closest I've been able to get. Did you ever go to I wanted to say Audio Feed again. They need to start paying us. Did you ever go to Cornerstone?
No. I was late to the music scene, actually. So
there was a band that would just play on the streets, and every now and then they would have a big stage set up. They were called Campbell the Band, and it has nothing to do with Rosemont whatsoever. They had like xylophones and stuff, but the mixture of the vocals and like the movement of the music is similar to kind of what I'm hearing from Rosemont. I guess that's a long-winded way of saying, who are your influences? Like, who would you say, hey, if you love this band, you're probably going to love Rosemont?
Oh, gosh. It's a toughie because, like, I incorporate so many, like, feelings or, like, types, like, instrumental feelings into it. Like a song I currently wrote is kind of inspired by a band called Invent Animate, which is a metalcore band. But then if you go back to listen to Embrace, the shirt I'm wearing right now is Loathe. That band inspired me to buy a baritone guitar and that's why Embrace sounds the way it does.
Is that the little G?
But
and
like
L?
if we put it in plain sentence, like it's like a bunch of post rock bands such as like Caspian, This Will Destroy You, God Is an Astronaut, like those type of bands, and then there's like emo. Who inspired me in the emo world? I'm trying to think because like I don't think really. Well, no, I mean there's a band called Moving Mountains that actually blends the perfect world of emo and post rock together, and unfortunately they don't do music anymore, but like their albums are so solid, so solid. Like I just love them so much. But they've created that, and of course, why wouldn't I give it up to my favorite band of all time, Emery? They're the reasons why I can write like very heavy, sad music as a believer, and it's so sick. So,
dude, the resurgence of Emery
worlds.
is so good right now. Oh my goodness,
it's so good.
But yeah, I've just been seeing nothing but Emery on my Instagram timeline for the longest time.
It's so good.
Oh. But speaking of your guitar, is that the your baritone? Is that the G and L that you played at Audio Feed?
No, I didn't.
That one's a standard.
I don't think I played. I brought my guitars that time. Usually I play Andrew's guitars because his guitars are a higher quality of mine. But yeah, I played my two Squires. One is a standard. It's like a cheap $150 guitar that's still doing the trick. It's fine. And then I have my baritone, my Sunburst baritone. And then I just bought a Sterling by Music Man Stingray SR50.
Ooh.
And I love that thing. It's so much fun.
I keep thinking I need to get a baritone, considering I do an octave down into a bass rig anyway. So
yeah.
It's
worth it. It's worth it.
I love my gainy little SG and all sorts of I don't know, I'm an Epiphone freak, I guess.
Nice.
But anyway, Quinn's got something he's gonna get us into here.
Okay, so switching gears, usually this is the point where we look for a way to get a little less serious for a few minutes. Let's have a game to throw your way. Do you want to have some fun?
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. Since it's the end of the year, award season is coming up. We want you to present a few awards to some of your favorite actors or some of your artists. So you're giving a Rosemont award to everybody that deserves the reward for each category that we give you.
So the catch, we're going to give you the categories at random, and we're not going to let you use the same band twice. You have to tell us why you're giving each band each award, and we'll go from there.
And quick question, is this for like any band at all? Like just in general?
Yeah, let's just blanket statement the scene. Like, I mean, my influences are all over the place. I credit Motorhead as far as some of my randomness, as well as like Foo Fighters and My Chemical Romance. It's like whatever inspires you, whatever helps you to be the Rosemont that you are. Let's give some people some Rosemont awards.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, so
first category.
The first category, there is 5 of them. The first one is Best Collaboration Song.
So who had the best collab of the year?
Oh my gosh. That's tough. It's because like I've genuinely just listened to like very heavy music over the course of the last like year. Actually, yes, for the last year. So like they don't do many collaborations outside of like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, this is really tough. Well, I mean, there's a deathcore band. I can't think of the name right now.
From
that
Emo
I've just
Soul
recently
to
like ran
deathcore.
into. Yeah, deathcore. So yeah, like there's a deathcore band that came out with a song that's like featuring two bands, and I just recently ran into a video with the one band doing a live playthrough of both guitars and vocals, and that one band is actually featuring one guy, which is crazy. So that's one song. I think it's called Poetic Edda. That one's just really heavy, just very dark, but it's just insane. The transitions that they have and all that. Very cool, very fun to listen to. But yeah,
Awesome. All right, he's trying to get his other one pulled up here. He let his phone shut down on him.
And then it just went to a random YouTube video, which I don't even know why.
Okay,
let me try.
there we go.
There, we're
It would
good.
be helpful if I.
Okay, the second
Category.
award, or the second category, is for the best band that put out the best album.
So, album of the year. Who does Daniel from Rosemont say has album of the year 2023?
There's a lot of good ones.
Yes, there
Easily Invent Animate.
Invent
Easily
Animate.
Invent Animate.
Easily. Like handedly over everybody else.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 100%. And once again, this is just me listening to strictly like heavy music over the past year. I have listened to newer music, but nothing in that vein, and nothing in any other vein that or genre. But Invent Animate for sure was a surprise due to the fact that metalcore doesn't have a lot of like prog or different types of influences other than just pure brutality. Their newest album, Heavener, my God, it was a beautiful mix of like well-written lyrics to like the instrumentation, the expression of the instruments into like just the heaviness of the music, but all of it was just so beautifully pieced together. I'm still raving about it, still listening to that album even. Like it's just so good. So good.
I am going to have to check that one out. That one wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is the band that had the greatest lyrics for a song.
So if you could pick one lyric out of any song that's been put out in 2023, what is the one that just is right here for you?
It's funny because like it'll probably never be like from this year.
Obviously.
It would be in fact the entire song from Indian Lakes, one of my favorite indie bands. They're one of their songs called Come This Light. There's two versions to it. I like the acoustic version a little bit more. It's just about it. The song is really about like some form of lost love, and it intros in with this very subtle, almost whimpery type vocal, where it's like, come in this light, you only need to feel love, and it's like, oh my God, it makes you feel so much in that. It is so good. Yeah,
Dude, your vocals, by the way, my goodness.
I
You've
just
got
woke
a
up
set
and
of
it
lungs
feels
on
rough right now.
I was almost going to remind you not to pick your own band.
All right.
Okay, next category is best looking.
Who has the best look in the scene?
That has put out a song in 2022.
I don't even know. Shoot. Just man, if I were to pick anybody, I guess it was just I don't know. Humanity's Last Breath has a really cool Sleep Token. I'll say them.
Okay.
Just because they're interesting.
Yeah.
It's not because they're good or anything. It's just like they're interesting.
with the kind of mystery frontman.
Yeah,
Deal.
that weird like in the backgrounds in the shadow kind of look, but like you're really good on stage, like your presence is really good on stage and everything. You're just like demanding their, yeah, it's really cool. Like,
Nice. Like, if I was asked the same question, I probably would have gone with like grave robber.
yeah,
So-
right.
Wretched
Beautiful.
is just life goals, what I want to look like at some point. But anyway, what do we got for our next category?
The last one, you can pick multiple artists. Let's say up to 3.
Yeah, what was? Oh, go right ahead.
The,
I almost stepped
it's
on his
for-
toes.
It's for the best tour
So,
of 2023.
who had the best
Best tour?
Yes, the best lineup on a tour.
You can pick 1 to 3.
How many? Wait, okay, so like I'm building a package. I'm building a tour package
Yeah.
Sure.
Or what was one that you had that you
that I went into.
saw, or
just
one that you were interested in?
Just one that you like.
It's been a while since I've gone to a show, and I think the last one I've went to, I literally got there in time to see one band.
Well, let's do this. Let's build your dream. If you were gonna go on one night and see 4 bands, give me the order of who would headline, who's gonna open. Let's have Rosemont's choice. That seems like an even harder question now.
It is, because there's so many great bands out there. So wow. All right, we'll do. Oh, that sucks, because like I want to say like Moving Mountains would be like my top. I want to see them so bad. I never got to see them, so they're obviously in there. And then I saw From Indian Lakes in 2019, but they were on their new album, and it was kind of weird at the time, and I wasn't feeling it. But I'll still go see them. So, From Indian Lakes, Moving Mountains. City and Color.
Okay.
It just doesn't feel right though. But I'll go see them in that package. And no, not Covet. That's not gonna be fun. Jeez, I don't even know. Like, who would I pick? Sure, why not? Emery. Emery would headline.
Ooh.
And then it will be Moving Mountains, City and Color, and From Indian Lakes in that order. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now is the time where we would get back to our Rosemont music. We're gonna play your track "Embrace," and when we edit it in, we're gonna edit it in right here.
I watched you replace yourself with your own hate. I covered every step
by the way, I'm really excited about that one. I'm glad you picked it. So it's a little bit of a departure from the other track that you picked from Rooms. It's got a little bit more aggression. There's definitely some other emotions going on there. What's the story behind this one? I'm interested.
So musically and everything, once again, that song is the first song where I wrote on a baritone, and like I was heavily inspired by Loath's I Let It In It and It Took Everything. That album in 2020 when it came out was bar none probably the best thing that's ever happened that year. So like when listening to it, it was just like or like writing that song rather was just more like I'm learning about myself and who I've become, where I belong. Kind of the opposite of Rooms, like, oh, why is this happening? This is all this doom and dread, and then there's Embrace, where it's just like, now I have to accept where I've been, who I've become, and all these other things. And so, yeah, that instrumentally, it was supposed to be heavy, and in fact, that's actually one of the songs that I'm trying to piece together for the album that I'm writing. So that's going to be quite exciting.
All right.
Okay. This is your time, since we're kind of running out of time, and
Okay.
But now's your time to tell everybody where they can find you, like how they can get to you, and any tours coming up. Just everything Rosemont that they need to know.
So social medias, merch drops, new music, tours, anything. What's on the horizon for Rosemont? Bring us the horizon.
Well, I'm low-key trying to release an album next year. So that's taking longer than I expected. And so far, not really any shows. It's been a year of just rest and recouping. So that has a main focus at the current moment. But as soon as anything drops, you guys will be the first to know.
Awesome. Just a spoiler alert. We do have another band that wanted to. One of the next bands that we're bringing on. I'm trying to be careful how I word this. Wanted to let us be part of the launch pad for when they start to put out some new singles for a new album next year. I'm trying to not give away who it is or what it is yet, but that one's going to be a fun one. So maybe you can come back and join us for that.
Mystery surprise on what is coming.
Be surprised. Absolutely. Also, socials. Sorry, I totally forgot because you mentioned that. Instagram is Rosemont Official, and Facebook is Real Rosemont.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I couldn't have just Rosemont. It's a full-on city from Illinois. It's a weird story, but
we're in a full-on city from Illinois.
We're not in Rosemont.
No, there you go. See, there you go. So yeah, Rosemont Official on Instagram, Real Rosemont on Facebook, and Rosemont Official on Twitter. I do not use Twitter, but if you want to follow me there, that's fine.
Yeah, the more clicks, the better, right?
Right.
So we definitely appreciate you coming in and chatting music for the last one of our episodes, the last Dad Music podcast of 2023. And we're glad that you're kind of the launch pad for us going into 2024. So why don't you? I see that you post a little bit of football stuff here and there. Detroit Lions fan?
I'm actually. This is the first year where I am.
Okay.
I'm typically a Green Bay Packers fan.
Whoa!
I know.
Whoa! But anyway, on that note, why don't you go ahead and take the last snap and get a kneel down for us, and we'll close this thing out in style. Whatever you want to say, you got the floor. Let's close this thing out.
And we have like 2 minutes. So.
Oh, we got 5.
5.
Just a time frame. I just appreciate the music scene doing what it's doing. You guys coming together and making this thing a possibility, and just trying to actually push that as much as possible. Push people to the next level. I will say I am also in the same vein, and I host shows in Detroit. So like, if anybody at all that wants to like be a part, just hit me up, give me a message, and come my way. Chat. Yeah, please come through. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I just love you guys. Thank you so much for just listening about whatever I do, and yeah, I'll be around.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, we are so happy that you were here, and we'll go ahead and close us out. Thank you for joining us with the Dad Music Podcast, episode 3. And we'll probably just cut it right there, sir.
Bless. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for joining us on the 3rd installment of the Dad Music Podcast.
Number 3. And make sure to follow us on all the socials, and also make sure to follow Rosemont and all of his stuff.
Yep. Make sure we get him as many likes and plays and comments and pokes and tweets as possible. Everything that we can get Rosemont, everything that we can get the Dad Music Podcast, and everything that we can get all of our artists, let's get it.
Let's get this video to 1 billion views and all of his stuff to 1 billion listens.
And check out the Dad Music Podcast playlist on Spotify, where the entire catalog of every artist that comes on is going to be featured.
Yeah.
And click.